afternoon. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2026. This Committee of Finance, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Here.
Present. Present.
Thank you. First ordinance we have guests was ordinance number 98-2026 by Council Members Davis, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request. An emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Development to enter into a tax increment financing agreement with Westinghouse Breakwater Properties, LLC, or its designee, TW58, Cleveland, LLC, and/or another designee to assist with the financing of the Westinghouse redevelopment project to be located at 1200 West 58th Street, to provide for payments to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and to declare certain improvements to real property to be a public purpose. Director, please introduce your guests and the people that are at the table with you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Happy to be here with members of the team for this amazing project. We have here Dave Fishback, who's partner on the project, Ken Kalinchuk, who's the consultant, and Bobby Bruno, who is managing the project on the city team.
Okay. Mr. Bruno?
Good afternoon. Respectfully requesting to present on this TIF piece and PACE piece related to this project. That'll be number 104-2026. If we may present the project and the two requests at the same time, sir.
Sure, let me read it into the record. In addition to 98-2026, it will be ordinance number 104-2026 as amended by Council Members Davis, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request. An emergency ordinance approving the addition of property located at 1200 West 58th Street to the Northeast Ohio Advanced Energy District, accepting and approving a petition and plan from a property owner in the district proposing a special energy improvement project, declaring it necessary to conduct the special energy improvement project, providing for the assessment of the cost of such special energy improvement project, authorizing the Director of Development to enter into an energy project cooperative agreement and a special assessment agreement to implement the project, and declaring an emergency. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Discussing the Westinghouse redevelopment here, so we'll talk about the developer first. TW58 Cleveland LLC is the holding and development entity formed for this project. The developers are based out of Cleveland, and this project is led by Mr. Fishback next to me, as well as his partner, Mr. Liam Fishback, and Mr. Jim Rusnoff, who's also a local Clevelander. Mr. Rusnoff has experience in real estate transactions through his role with RTA, and Mr. Fishback's company has a whole host of development experience, performing as GC on projects such as the True by Hilton in Midtown, as well as projects like Timmerman Lofts and Worthington Yards. The property. This is 1200 West 58th Street. This is that 8-story former Westinghouse tower that kind of sticks out at you as you're driving west along the Shoreway out of downtown. This is approximately 113,000 square feet of existing building that was constructed in 1898. The zoning is industrial, so certainly more intense than the project being proposed here, and was used historically for manufacturing industrial uses. In terms of the project, the project will redevelop that 8-story tower into apartments. There will be 106 apartment units, 10 of them held as affordable. There will also be a commercial component to this project, approximately 23,000 square feet for office, retail, and restaurant type spaces. This will create 5 new jobs for sure through the management of the residential community, in addition to the new jobs that will be created through the commercial end users. The total project cost of all phases of this is approximately $81 million. In terms of the sources and uses for this project, you could see that a project of this scale requires a number of funding sources. Primarily, bank loan and equity will finance this, but CDA is participating. The Port of Cleveland is participating with financing. The state and county both have. The city participated already with a small pre-development grant as part of the Brownfield project that occurred on this site, as well as the PACE financing that we're requesting today. In terms of community benefits on this project is subject to an expanded community benefits agreement that has been finalized between the property owner and OEO. This comes with standard benefits like MBE and FBE participation, but also some really exciting kind of unique things to the project, including 4 speed tables being constructed near the project site, the installation of public bicycle racks, funding for improvements to the nearby Herman Park Trail, as well as streetscaping all along the frontage of this project site. Regarding the request for special assessment financing, the PACE Property Assessed Clean Energy Financing component to this project will be funded by the Port of Cleveland for up to $15 million on financing over 28 years. This will cover some clean energy improvements as part of the project. This PACE has been approved by the Special Energy Improvement District to move it forward to this legislation. And regarding the tax increment financing request, this would be a 100% non-school TIF for 30 years. The benefit to the development over the course of the term would be approximately $11 million, $369,417. And the estimated net increase in tax revenue to the city and the city schools via payments in lieu of taxes is estimated to be $23.3 million over the course of this term. So with that, happy to turn this to the project team or to answer any questions.
Thank you. Want to say anything?
On behalf of the development team, TW58 Cleveland, I just want to thank all of you involved in the city's help and the county and all the public entities that have so far stepped up to help us put this whole thing together. It's been quite a few years that we've been working on it, and we're very anxious to get the project started.
Okay, so just a couple of things. Do you have I take it you've been working closely with both the council members, Davis and also Santana? Okay, so I'll pivot to Councilwoman Santana.
Thank you, Council President. So this was vetted and approved by DPS committee. There was tons of questions that were answered, but I do want to, through the chair, if you could talk about the facade. You know how you guys were trying to keep it historical. If you could kind of share with the council members what you're planning to do with that facade.
We're still working on the final design of what's going to happen on the south side of I want to say the existing tower. There will be a new 5-story tower that's going to be built on top of the parking garage behind what was shown as representing the existing facade. Our structural engineers so far have concluded that existing facade is not stable and going to be able to be saved, but we're looking to replicate or pay homage to the Westinghouse design with the new design of the Phase 1B facility, and we just don't have that yet together.
Got it. And then my last question is, can you talk about the rents that are going to be affordable?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, the rents at the 120% AMI are going to be somewhere between $1,300 and $1,500 per month by the time the project's completed. When you look at what's considered workforce at 120% AMI, for the MSA.
And that's for one bedroom, correct?
1 bedrooms and studios, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And the Councilman Brian Casey?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, to our presenters, first of all, you informed me earlier today that you'll be utilizing Cleveland Public Power, so I appreciate that. Second question is, will you have any new electric lines running to the building? We have a very old ordinance in this city that any new construction that goes up, all utility lines need to be buried. So will you guys be burying utility lines, putting new lines up, or will they be overhead? And this is a question, you just happen to be the first ones that I'm going to ask this to. This is going to be something that I'm going to ask all new construction coming up in the future.
We don't have the final designs from Cleveland Public Power, but I certainly anticipate it all being underground.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Starr?
Thank you, Council President. No, I just wanted to ask, with regard to this ordinance number 98, I see that there's a community benefits agreement, and given that the rules that we have in the Workforce Education, Training, and Youth Development Committee, this should have came to Workforce Committee for proper vetting. I have not, or anyone on that committee have seen the actual community benefits agreement to be able to vet this project. So I was going to see if there's any way we could send this back to Workforce for proper vetting as well as procedure.
Councilman, as we stated before, once the legislation is put in place, then it is up to closely, because the council people in that area work closely with the developer, as well as OEO that usually works with it through the contractual side on community benefits. So the legislative side gives the approval, but the actual community benefits and everything that would be a part of that is usually done with the OEO department and the council people that are in that area, because they know what are some of the needs in that area first and foremost. So that's done through the contractual side, and I wanted to make sure that we know that. And the council people in the area have been working closely with the developer to determine what are some of the key things they would like to see with that developer. So that's really out of respect to working with the council people in that area who have put forth some of the things they would like to see. And then OEO would ratify a lot of the other things with the workforce and everything else.
Yeah, and I definitely respect the actual process of the council person being vetted, taking a lead on making sure the community benefits agreement is in place for their neighborhood in their area. But then within our actual rules of our committee, for what we have, it states that community benefits agreement comes to the Workforce Committee for proper vetting, and that has not been done. So I was trying to get clarification on why didn't the committee, or what's the reason that it goes straight to finance and not least being vet as far as that CBA, which is important, I believe, which is important, because what I will ask to the chair, when I look at this ordinance, the amount to the chair to the table, how much support as far as taxpayers' dollars for the city of Cleveland is going to this project?
To the councilman through the chair. So the benefit to the project over time, we are estimating will be approximately $11 million of foregone property taxes. In terms of taxes the city's accrued so far being kind of handed to the project, $0.
Okay.
Yeah, so therefore, overall, in the future, it's going to possibly be $11 million worth of support from the city?
Through the chair, yes, sir.
And with that type of amount of support from taxpayer dollars from the city, I believe based on the rules that we put forth as a council, those type of initiatives should require workforce to be able to vet the project as well as any other department, and not just trying to get clarification on that. That's mainly the part of workforce to be able to understand what CBA is in place, because I've talked to council members offline and things like that, where they had some questions of things that they wanted to see in the project, and then they look up and see the project 80% completed or 90% completed, and none of those goals were reached. So just through the rules that we put forth that council had voted on at the beginning of this term, it says in that area that community benefits agreements comes to Workforce Education and Training Committee. And that's just meaning if we don't use the rules, then what's the point of having a committee if we don't get a chance to just
So
properly vet
Councilman,
it, that's all.
The council people in that area work closely with economic development to come up with what they believe was something that was important. We can further look into that. I would like to see where you're saying that every economic development deal needs to go through workforce. That was not the way that it was originally put together. So those are things that I would really look at trying to take a look at and get clarification. But the council people, out of respect to the colleagues that support this project, we don't want to just hold it up because we want to send it through another committee process.
Thank you, and I just don't want to hold up no project, but I mean, if we have rules in place to be able to properly help assist with the vetting, I think that is important, you know. If we say we want to make sure the community benefits agreements is in place right now, I could even ask right now through the council president, they don't even see no OEO representation, I don't think, at the table, do we?
OEO is not at the table, sir.
And we're talking about an actual fair share of making sure just things are done correctly. I'm not trying to push back and say, well, depending on this committee states if the ordinance passed through. I'm just talking about proper procedures of vetting a project where it states in our rules related to community benefits agreements through our council comes to workforce committee. That's what it says. I didn't write the rules. I didn't break it. I'm just trying to make sure all committees properly vet legislation like we did similar to the HR piece that was needed to be vetted to make sure we had that. That's all. I just don't want to seem as if we just got a committee and doesn't vet anything. That's all.
I would really love to go over that with you in order to make sure that maybe it's something that I'm missing, but to be honest with you, in order to do that, that would mean that every economic development deal would need to go through the workforce. And I'm not sure that that was what it was intended to do, but your point is taken. I would look forward to having a conversation with you. However, at this time, the council members that work in that ward support this project and has worked closely with these developers in order to determine the things that they would like to see in their neighborhoods.
No problem. No questions asked or anything.
Thank you. Okay. All right, Michael Palencia, Councilman Michael Palencia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. It looks like a very worthwhile project. I've gone past that site forever. Once they knock out the shoreway, it might be a little bit difficult to maneuver, because that's why I go to the west side, by going on the shoreway here. That's a whole nother story. Is there a TIF involved in this project?
Through the chair to the councilman, yes, sir. We are requesting to enter into a TIF agreement as part of this project.
Okay. What I'm going to ask, and I would hope that you would provide for this, and I'm saying this is economic development going forward. With regard to the TIF, we know the schools are made whole on the TIF, correct?
Through the chair, yes, sir.
But if you could provide, and I'm going to say this to the council chair as well, on every project that comes before us in the future now where there's a TIF, if you could provide to us what the loss would be to Metro Parks and the library, and I'm assuming RTA, and any other taxing entity. I'm trying to understand. I was having a discussion recently with some folks from Metro Parks who indicated every time we do a TIF, they're taking a hit. Metro Parks is taking a hit. And so along with RTA, and I don't know if this is correct, but that's what I was told, that these other taxing agencies, organizations, every time we issue a TIF or legislate a TIF, that they're losing revenue from their operation. So I'd like to pose this to the administration and through our committee here, that I think we need, when these come to us, we need to see the big picture. It'll give us a better understanding, because these projects, a project like this is important. I mean, this place has sat there for how many years empty? Is there there's a time frame? How many years?
Through the chair to the councilman, approximately 10 years, it's been fully vacant.
10 years, boy, I thought it was longer than that, let me tell you. But because it's an exciting project, and I compliment all my, congratulate all my colleagues involved in this process, those in the past and those that will have it now. But I think we need to see that big picture on all projects coming forward, exactly what the loss is for the other taxing agencies. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I believe that is all that, did you have a question? I believe that is all of the questions, and that being said, ordinance number 98 dash 2026 and ordinance number 104 dash 2026 as amended stands approved. Please sign on. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, we hope in the future we can get that on each project where there's a...
This is the director, so.
Through
make
the
sure this-
chair, yes, we will
Thank
do
you.
that analysis and make sure
Thank
that we,
you, thank
yep,
you, Director.
no problem.
There you go. Next, we have safety. This is ordinance number 105-2026 as amended by council members Polinsik and Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Safety to enter into one or more various written standard and requirement contracts and for professional services with Digital Intelligence, Inc., Celebrate, Inc., and Magnet Forensics, LLC, for the purchase of various types of digital forensic equipment and services and for related professional services, including the acquisition of licenses, if needed, for the Digital Forensics Unit, for the Division of Police, Department of Public Safety, for a term of 1 year with 2 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Public Safety. And the amendment is as follows. There is no legal objection to this legislation if amended as follows. 1, in section 5, at the end, insert, the Director of Public Safety shall provide written notice to the Clerk of Council whenever any purchase is made through the cooperative process, which notice shall include the details of such cooperative purchases. 2, in section 6, line 1, after ordinance, insert in the estimated amount of $310,000. Dated 3/11/24, signed by Jonathan S. McGorry, Assistant Director of Law. Director?
Yes, thank you, Chair and council members. With me at the table, to my left, your right, is Commander Muscle, Division of Police. And to my right, your left, is Michael Gelman. He's the Public Safety Fiscal Manager. And they're here to assist, answer any questions that you may have, the committee may have. Ordinance, as you just stated, which is 105-2026, is for the digital forensic equipment. Our forensics unit now is in the process of trying to purchase this particular equipment. The equipment was used initially by federal partners. Our federal partners no longer providing the service. So with the Division of Police working with ITS, they went and vetted various equipment so we can continue with this service with our forensic unit, and they came up with the amount, which was mentioned. Total cost of the purchase of this equipment is approximately $310,000. Again, so our forensics unit will continue to have this particular service in Division of Police to use the technology to help our investigators do their jobs more effectively and efficiently. And again, I do have Commander Muscle here to answer any specifics about the equipment that we're going to purchase or would like to purchase.
Commander,
Yes, sir.
did he have any comments?
No, just if you have any questions. Yeah, any questions from the committee relative to this?
Councilman
particular
Michael
equipment?
Polinsik, this went through your committee?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it did. And we supported but if the director and the commander can educate us again, the amount of the federal grant that we lost was how much?
Through the chair to Councilman Polinsik, it wasn't a federal grant. It was just the federal agencies were providing the service for us. They no longer provide the service, so we want to make sure that we can have the equipment purchased for our forensics unit. But it was not a grant.
So in essence, they provided the $310,000 worth of work.
Through the chair, that's a good way of putting it, so yes.
Okay, because I just wanted, because in essence, it was a grant. I mean, really, if you really want to look at it, okay? So they provided the, and what, I'm trying to understand this, where did that initial money come from, the 310,000, or whatever that dollar amount was? Where did that come from?
Through the
Do we
chair,
know?
Councilman Polenzek, again, the $310,000 is the actual, once the Division of Police and ITS got together and vetted the equipment that was used by our federal partners, that was the cost for the equipment for our forensics units to actually utilize the same equipment as our federal partners.
Okay, so we really don't know what their cost was.
Through the
federal-
chair, that's correct.
Yeah, but now that we are to assume this responsibility, and it's going to cost the general fund $310,000. So my question, Mr. Chairman, where are you going to, how are you going to pay for this within the budget that's we're going to be dealing with very shortly?
Through the director to the chair, through the chair to the councilman, it's actually being funded partially by a capital project of $255,000, and then the balance will be paid out of the general fund police budget.
So in the capital plan that will be coming to us, it's going to be, there's going to be a line item for that?
Through the director to the chair to the councilman, I'm assuming so, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, you're assuming so, it's going to have to be in there, because we're going to be dealing with the capital plan like we're dealing with it now, other sections, so you're saying 255,000 is going to be in there for capital?
That's correct.
And then the remainder's coming out of what, general?
Yes, general fund.
And you're able to cover that with the proposed budget that is in front of us?
Through the director to the chair to the councilman, yes.
With that, will come out of what, Division of Police or the Director's Office?
The division of police.
Division of Police, okay. Okay, are there, to the director and to the commander, is there any other potential losses that we're going to get out of the federal government coming down the pike?
Through the chair, not that we're aware of.
Not that you're aware of. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions regarding this ordinance?
Yes.
Councilman Charles Life.
Thank you, and I know this is a bit atypical, but there were some, so this legislation was amended at Safety Committee, and you read those amendments, and it seems that there was some confusion, and I will fall on the sword for this one, on staff's recommendations for what the amendments were, should have been or could have been, and what we ended up amending. So it might be helpful if you would entertain to have Tina Magistro come to the table to make sure that I don't mince my words. But it seems that Council President, staff is recommending two amendments right now at the table. One is to, guys, I amend the amendment. Make sure I get this. So instead of it being in the estimated amount of $310,000, have it be a not to exceed $310,000.
Okay.
The other, and I think this is the point that was of confusion, is in section 6. So this speaks to there's $55,000 of this coming out of operational funds, and then $255 coming out of bond dollars. So 20 SF 701 is 2021 bond dollars. 20 SF 728 is 2025 bond dollars. And I think staff's question is, why are we authorizing 2025 bond dollars when it could just be spent out of 2021 bond dollars? And a concern that this could kind of allow for things to be spent even beyond this. I don't know if that's a fair. Come on up.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can make sure we have the accurate language.
Yeah.
If we could.
So what staff wrote to me is no need for additional bond funding, and the amendment also is we're trying to strike broad language that allows them to use whatever account they want, essentially. So I'm bringing this up before I proffer any amendment for to make sure we understand what's being recommended to us, and then I'll kind of take a cue from you.
Thank you. Ms. Magistro, clarification.
Through the chair to the councilman. So the project is currently set up out of 2701, so we should strike 728 and the other funds by the finance director.
So, I'm gonna get some, I gotta get some
You
understanding.
need some clarification on that,
Yeah,
Council?
'cause,
Councilman Palincic would like to make sure he gets more clarification.
Because as Councilman Slife indicated, we amended it at committee. So now Councilman is proposing an amendment to the amendment.
Correct, that's correct.
Okay. To restate the,
Could you restate
Yeah.
the language? And please make sure the attorney has this as well.
yes.
Through the chair to the councilman, in section 6, after 701, strike "and" 20 SF 728, and shall also be charged against the proper appropriation accounts. So that should be striked.
Okay. I will make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
All right, there's been a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Councilman Slife has seconded that amendment. Is there any further discussion? Does the attorney have the language? And are you all good? Okay. Seeing no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The amendment carries.
And
Thank
then
you.
I guess technically there would be the other proposed amendment of, instead of it saying in the estimated amount, have it be a not to exceed $310,000. Would you want to entertain that motion also?
Would anybody
Councilman?
like to entertain that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
So the motion has been made by Councilman Palincic. Is there a second?
second.
Councilman Slife is second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Sorry for that.
No problem. Please proceed if you have anything else, Director. You good? Okay. All right. All right. That means that ordinance number 105-2026 as amended stands approved. Please sign on. Thank you. The second one is ordinance number 1455-2025 as amended by council members Bishop, Palincic, and Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance authorizing the purchase by one or more contracts of labor and materials necessary to retrofit a Division of Police command bus, including installation for the Division of Motor Vehicle Maintenance, Department of Public Works, and/or the Department of Public Safety. Director, I'll read the amendment first. My apologies. The amendment states, there is no legal objection to this legislation if amended as follows. 1, in section 2, at the end, insert, the directors of public works and/or public safety shall provide written notice to the clerk of council whenever any purchase is made through the cooperative process, which notice shall include the details of such cooperative purchase. Number 2, in section 3, line 1, after authorized, insert in the estimated amount of $320,000. This was dated 2/2/2026 and signed by Vishnu Ganglani, Director of Law. Director.
Yes, Chair and committee members. This ordinance number 1455-2025, is to provide the legislative authority to enter into a competitively bid contract or cooperative purchasing agreement for the upgrade of the command bus utilized by the Division of Police. This ordinance authorizes the Director of Public Works to execute all necessary agreements and documents to complete the work. The estimated amount for the work for the upgrade of the command vehicle would be $320,000. And the last time I was at the table, the safety chair wanted to know the mileage. The mileage is over 22,000 on the vehicle itself. I have Commander Schramm to my left, who's in charge of communications and property control, where the command vehicle falls under his jurisdiction. So he's here to answer any questions relative to this particular ordinance.
All right, Councilman Palincic.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. We heard the legislation, we heard a report in detail as it pertains to why the command bus needs to be upgraded to meet present-day standards, and it was supported unanimously by members of the committee.
Thank you. Are there any other questions regarding ordinance number 1455-2025? Seeing no questions, ordinance number 1455-2025 as amended stands approved. Please sign on. Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
We'll move to council projects. The first is ordinance number 227-2026, as amended by council members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance authorizing the purchase by one or more standard and requirement contracts for the purchase, lease, or lease with option to purchase of light-duty vehicles and equipment for the various divisions of city government. And the amendment states, is the director of, I believe that is, you up, it's you. Yeah. This is, come on, directors. All right. And the amendment states there is no legal objection to this legislation if amended as follows. 1, in section 3, line 3, after restricted income tax fund, insert fund numbers 20 SF 710, 20 SF 717, 20 SF 724, and 20 SF 731, and after unspent, insert light vehicle. And starting in line 3, strike future bonds and insert 2026 debt. And at line 5, strike and shall be charged against the proper appropriation accounts. In the last line, after Director of Finance, insert for any debt issuance that is not general obligation bonds, and the Director of Finance shall notify the Clerk of Council of the type of debt issued and its terms. Director, this is dated 3/23/26, signed by Nick Delaney, Assistant Director of Law. Director, please proceed.
Hello, Mr. Chairman. So before us today, you'll hear two pieces of legislation only related to the capital improvement plan. The rest of the legislations have many committees to go through before they would reach Finance Committee. So the first ordinance that you read is related to light vehicles. And as you mentioned, the amount of this request is $5,069,950. And I wanted to highlight that the list of vehicles is included in your ordinance. It's written right into the ordinance, but I did want to highlight that this includes $500,000 related to bikeway maintenance vehicles. That's something that we've heard from the community and through the Cleveland Moves plan, that if we're going to be building bike facilities, we need to have a way to keep them clean and safe. And so these same sweepers and plows could be used for a variety of different paths and alleys, and something that will be good to have in our system. So with that, I have Director Laird here, and we're open to any questions you have on light vehicles.
Okay. First and foremost, Councilman Bishop, this was heard in your area?
Yes, Mr. President, we heard this morning, fully vetted, recommended for passage.
Okay, thank you. Director Laird, did you have any comments or anything you wanted to make towards this?
To the Council President, I don't have anything on this. I just wanted to say thank you for reaching out last week, and the condolences, and I appreciate that very much.
Thank you, and please know that we still keeping you in our thoughts.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, are there any other questions regarding municipal services and properties? Councilman Michael Palencia.
Mr. Chairman, to both directors, is this the one where the fire apparatus is in? Because I can't seem to pull it up.
Be in the heavy.
Mr. Chairman, that would be heavy vehicles, the next one.
Okay,
Yes.
so that'd be the next one.
The next
Not
ordinance.
this one, okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions regarding ordinance number 227-2026? Seeing no other questions, ordinance number 227-2026 as amended stands approved. Please sign on. The next one is ordinance number 228-2026 as amended by council members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance authorizing the purchase by one or more standard and requirement contracts for the purchase, lease, or lease with option to purchase of various heavy-duty trucks and equipment for the various divisions of city government. And the amendment states, there is no legal objection to this legislation if amended as follows. 1, in section 3, line 3, after restricted income tax fund, insert fund number 20 SF 710, 20 SF 716, 20 SF 723, and 20 SF 732. And after unspent, insert heavy vehicle and, starting in line 3, strike future bonds and insert 2026 debt. And at line 5, strike and shall be charged against the proper appropriation accounts at in the last line, after Director of Finance. Insert for any debt issuance that is not general obligation bonds, the Director of Finance shall notify the Clerk of Council of the type of debt issued and its terms. This is dated 3/23/26, signed by Nick Delaney, Assistant Director of Law. Director?
Mr. Chairman, so thank you for hearing this piece. This relates to heavy vehicles. The total amount, as you mentioned, is $10,874,000 and $874,600. The list of specific vehicles is listed in the ordinance, and upon passage of this ordinance, we'll be able to move forward with those acquisitions.
Okay, Councilman Bishop, this was heard in your committee. Do you have
Yes,
any comments?
Yes, Mr. President, we recommend it for passage.
Thank you. Do we have any questions regarding 228-2026? Councilman Michael Polensek?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we had asked, as it pertains to fire apparatus, where those units were going. Does the administration have an idea where?
Mr. Chairman, through the chairman and the councilman, my apologies. I had a meeting in between this one and the earlier one, so I don't have that for you. I should have grabbed public safety when they were here at the table.
Okay. If you could please let us know where the fire apparatus is going and what the time
Yes.
frame is, because I'm told that there's a great lead time on fire apparatus. So if you give us some indication as to where the ladders are going to, where the pumpers are going to, and then the lead time when we should be able to get those units.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Thank you.
If we can get the councilman that information, I do want a clarifying answer on something. So is it whenever you buy certain vehicles that they also have a designated location that they go to, that they are going to be committed to? And the reason I ask that, because I don't know if you guys are moving these vehicles around based on need, or if they're like designated to, I'm not sure, a fire station in Collinwood, that they would stay there in perpetuity. Because I don't want to say that this is where they go, and then all of a sudden, councilman finds out that they're over on the west side somewhere.
So to the
That's
chair.
why I want to just get clarification if I
To the
could.
Council President, we do not make those decisions. We pretty much just give the apparatus to safety. They make the decision on where those pieces go.
Okay.
And also, it's 24 months the lead time it takes through the council.
24
president to-
months?
Yep, to the,
So we order them today, it's going to take 2 years.
yeah.
Question, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to be presumptuous. Have we ordered them already?
So we did do through the council president too, we did a rental, or I'm sorry, a used one. We did purchase a used one last year to try to have a stopgap because we knew this was going to take us a while to get this. So they have some units to work with now. It's just, we have not started the process to order.
Okay, because we're not the only one buying fire apparatus.
Correct.
And so I just, on these critical pieces of equipment, I would, as well as I do, council, and I will tell you because I'm here, been here, we've never not passed fire equipment. We always pass it. So I would hope, like in the future, that at least you would get the concurrence of the council president, because on some of the stuff, we just cannot wait. Okay. So if he would give you the blessing after talking to the committee chair people, whatever the committee may be on vehicle purchases, and say, get the ball rolling before we pass the piece. As long as we can identify, Mr. Chairman, that we have the funding in place. But, to the viewing public watching this, to realize on critical pieces of apparatus, it's going to take us 2 years to get that. We got to figure out a better way, a more expedited way to get stuff done.
So through the council president to the council, we will find ways. Commissioner Brown's pretty good about helping us up in the line, so we'll work on that.
Okay.
And I also did want to say I wanted to thank you for coming to my mother's memorial service. I appreciate that.
John, let me say this, and Council President, I always believe everyone here at City Hall is part of our family.
Right.
Part of our family, and I've never looked upon it any way different. So I express my deepest sympathy to you and the loss of your mom. All of us who've lost our moms know what that's like. So again, my deepest sympathy to you and your family.
Thank you.
And likewise, the only reason I wasn't there because I had a
No,
out-of-town commitment. But
Understood.
definitely, I agree with Councilman Valencia.
Thank you.
All of us are public servants,
That's
and
right.
Thank
these
you.
are tough jobs, and when
Thank
you have
you.
an opportunity to really show appreciation and show family members respect, we all need to do that, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
But this year, to reiterate, we will make it every effort to get that faster than 24 months.
And let us know if there's things that we could do on our side through the legislative process. We'll be willing to look at that
We'll
as well.
do,
okay?
absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, appreciate it. All right, I believe that is all. You look like you want to hang out for a little while.
No, this morning I was here for 3 hours, so I'm just used to more talk.
All right. Next is ordinance number 283-2026 by Councilmember Griffin, an emergency ordinance authorizing the clerk of council to enter into an agreement with Miller Mosley Company, DBA Buckeye Peach Group LLC for the professional services necessary to assist Cleveland City Council with automated phone calls and text messages to relay pre-recorded messages to Cleveland residents. Ms. Stickers.
Council President, this is just our Miller Mosley contract that offers mass text messaging, automated calls, and resident pollings and surveys.
Thank you. And I know that we worked with Mr. Miller through the years, so these are the texts that go out for the various committees and some of the other communications that we have when we want to make robocalls and other emergency correspondence. So does anybody have any questions regarding this ordinance, 283-2026? I'm sorry. Councilwoman Santana?
Yeah. Council President, is this unlimited, like council members could reach out and have any of their community meetings announced?
Yes, we can work with them. One of the things that we will try to make sure, just so that we could make sure that we have a good process, we probably should establish a protocol so that I would anticipate that some council members would probably utilize it more than others, and we just probably need a way to make sure that we understand. Right now, it's been pretty much anybody who just sends stuff out, and be quite honest with you, we had to pull him back a little bit because he was just sending stuff out, period, because he was so aggressive, and some council members like, wait a minute, I want to make sure that I view what I'm sending out, et cetera. So we should make sure that we work with the Miller Mosley Group and in order to have a good and communications,
Yes.
in order to have a proper protocol. So that'd be one of the things we'll task communications with.
And I would love for you all to use it more.
Okay.
Yes.
And then another question would be through the chair, like, where do they get the contact information, and does it constantly get updated?
I would have to ask communication, through the chair to the council member, I would have to ask communications that, because I usually let them just handle that contract. I'm just putting it back in place so that we can have it as long as we need it for now.
Got it. Okay, we'll work together.
We'll work together, and it's a very good service. I tend to like it, but yeah, so we need to make sure that. Seeing no other questions, ordinance number, what is that?
283.
Ordinance number 283-2026 stands approved. Thank you, Ms. Stickers.
Thank you.
All right, we have a couple of ordinances by Human Resources. And these were relieved in order to come in front of our committee by Councilman Polensek. And the first one is ordinance 371-2026 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance approving the collective bargaining agreement with the Cleveland Police Patrolmen's Association, CPPA, civilian personnel, and to amend section 10 of ordinance number 194-2021 passed March 29, 2021, as amended relating to compensation for various classifications. Director.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee. Yes, the first contract is for the CPPA civilian unit. It's for the period of April 1st, 2025 through 3/31 of 2028. This bargaining unit contains approximately 113 individuals. Excuse me. Some of the key pieces that came from this collective bargaining agreement included 3% increases for each of the years, an additional 2% increase for individuals who are bilingual. So we are trying to continue to make a concerted effort to attract and retain individuals that are bilingual. Additionally, there's some provisions added to the contract, very important, regarding the rehiring of former dispatchers. So if an individual leaves the city of Cleveland within a period of time, they're able to be rehired and come back and not lose seniority and some other things. So similarly to police, we're looking to not penalize individuals who may have thought they might find a better position somewhere else in a different city or whatnot, and then want to come back. So there's some provisions added there, very important. As with the other contracts, we increased the shift differential from 35 cents to 47 cents per hour. Those are the main changes to this collective bargaining agreement, but certainly I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Councilman Polinsky, you relieved this from
Yes,
safety.
yes, Mr. Chairman, my only question. So this is just for the dispatchers?
Through the chair to the councilman, this has 4 classifications.
Okay, tell us what they are.
The bilingual communications specialist,
Okay,
police radio dispatcher, police safety aide, and then safety telephone operator.
so the police safety, it would be what?
Police safety aide, through the chair to the council, police safety aide is a support position for the dispatch unit.
Okay, so it basically it's all around, that's all around dispatch. correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And, you know, Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues, we all know that we've had a problem trying to get dispatchers. We know sometimes, more than sometimes, the great pressure that they're under. So at this moment, do you know how many open positions there are in dispatch?
Through the chairman to the councilman, I don't, but I can certainly get that. You know, as I mentioned earlier, one of the, you know, the keys to this set of negotiations is to ensure that we are able to recruit and then retain dispatchers.
Right.
Dispatch is a tough position universally to fill.
Yes.
And, you know, certainly it's been no different for the city of Cleveland.
Well, if you could let us know at this point how many open positions there are in dispatch, because again, this is something we'd like to disseminate to our citizens, our residents about these open positions and how one goes about applying for those positions. You know, I always tell my folks, check on the city's website. But again, there are people who are not on the website or don't have a computer. So anything that can be provided to us in writing or a brochure as pertains to dispatch positions would be very helpful. And I want to say to the viewing public, because sometimes I'm asked, why doesn't council negotiate the contracts or discuss them at the table? And I want to say to the viewing public again, because by charter, we do not negotiate the contracts, that we are prohibited. So that is an administrative function. It comes before us for ratification once it is agreed to by the administration and the collective bargaining unit. And then we vote either up or down. And I can't recall last time we voted down a contract, and if my life depended on it, because again, we assume that the administration took into consideration all the issues that are before us. So again, Mr. Chairman, I support this contract negotiations. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions regarding ordinance number 371-2026? Seeing no other questions, ordinance number 371-2026 will be heard by the full council for consideration this evening. The last ordinance is ordinance number 376-2026 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance approving the collective bargaining agreement with the Ohio Police Patrolmen's Association, Chief Dispatchers, and to amend Section 15 of ordinance number 194-2021, passed March 29, 2021, as amended, relating to compensation for various classifications. Director.
Thank you, Chair. Similarly to the dispatcher's contract, this contract is for the period, again, of April 1st, 2025 through March 31st of 2028. This bargaining unit contains approximately 11 employees, and similarly to also the dispatcher's wages are very similar as in the CPPA contract. Additionally, the shift differential also was increased to 47 cents from 35 cents, similarly to the dispatchers. One thing I failed to mention previously, but also true of this contract, vacation time, or furlough time as it's called in DPS, was also changed to correspond with non-bargaining. So it reduced the second tier from 8 years to 5 years, similar to other contracts that we've negotiated as well. Those are the main changes for this contract, but certainly, again, open to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Polensek, this was relieved out of public safety.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it was, and I wholeheartedly support it.
Thank you. Are there any questions regarding ordinance number 376-2026? Seeing no questions, ordinance number 376-2026 stands approved. It will be heard by the full council this evening. That concludes this Committee of Finance, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. We will convene tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. Please be on time and ready to go. Thank you.